she here yet?
Not yet, ma'am, no.
Then she's late.
Yes, she is late.
Kristen, how are you doing today?
Great.
Fantastic. The opening scene in this with Diana going into the chipper and just asking for directions, it reminded me so much of a scene out of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Like it was like 1 degree away from being a horror film. And I think that set the tone for me. Like was there any kind of sense of that, I guess, when you were making this, like this kind of out of world, almost kind of spooky experience, living the life of this woman?
Absolutely. I think if your goal is to educate people or like a sort of new alien race about the royal family and what happened with Princess Diana, this movie would not do it, because you have to bring your memory of what happened to the film in order to really experience it. And I'm sure that living that life and being her at times felt incredibly surreal and horrific. And then also just bizarre and absurd. And considering that's such a singular, unique, strange position to fulfill, I think it's just like the most unrelatable thing. That's kind of why the movie lives the way that it does. The perspective is that of somebody in crisis. And so at times you feel a little bit crazy in this heightened trauma right before you make such a sort of significant and historical decision that's really going to change a lot. She must have felt crazy, you know? And so the movie definitely leans into the shriek of it all.
This might sound like a little bit redundant almost, but I couldn't help but notice the parallels with this character and with this story as there was with Bella Swan, in that like she's marrying into a family that she doesn't fully understand the power of, the aristocracy behind it all. And it does feel like we have kind of officially gone over the ledge of like, ladies don't need those princes anymore to like fulfill their lives. They don't, even Disney aren't telling those stories anymore. But like when you're making this, like, did you notice any parallels yourself with like modern fairy tales? But this one has a very sad and tragic ending.
I never thought about that Bella Swan thing. That's correct and interesting and funny that you mentioned it. It's bizarre. Personally, no. I've never been asked to be anyone that I wasn't. I feel like it's kind of a common conception that it's like that people play parts, that actors come in and sit and do interviews and they're just playing a sort of different version of themselves to kind of keep a distance or protect themselves. And as soon as you aren't able to uphold that standard or ideal, that suddenly like people come and attack you. I've made my mistakes in public. I've like been a pretty curious, sprawling, open person, and I've enjoyed that. So yeah, like I don't feel like I'm supposed to do anything. And I'm very, very aware of how lucky that is. Yeah.
And just one final question, if that's okay. I think a character or a person like Diana, who has been in the spotlight even for almost as much and for as long since she's passed away as she was when she was alive, and everyone in the world must feel like they know everything there is to know about her. But with every new documentary and every new movie, it does feel like we are learning one extra new kernel of information about her. Was there something when you were making this that you were surprised to learn that maybe you didn't know previously about her?
I don't know. She's complicated. It's so easy to love her. And it's so easy for people who are more frustrated with her to kind of make her one thing, that she's, defiant, petulant, that she knew what she was getting herself into, yet didn't then want to take on the responsibility and kind of just blew it. I don't know. I think considering her life, like, I don't know, there's no way to develop like naturally and normally in that environment. She was so young when she entered this situation. I think maybe to me, because she passed away when I was 7 years old, I always kind of looked I mean, I looked up to her. She's a grown up. She's always been a grown up to me. But then when I started doing all of this research, I was like, how old was she when she met him? A baby, like a teenager. I can't believe that, that was what was surprising is, but we expect her to be this fully fledged and formulated woman. It's like, excuse me, I've not had a chance to grow up yet. So yeah, that was striking. And it's funny because it's like, it's obvious. It's just that when you actually look at the details, it's shocking. Yeah.
Magnificent. Kristen, thank you so much for your time today, and best of luck with everything going forward.
Thank you.
Fight them. You are your own weapon.